Using AI, you can now completely change the background of your videos or even completely relight a scene or create full visual effects at the click of a button using AI. And today I'm going to run through and show you how it all works so that by the end of this video, you can create visual effects just like this with these 3 simple tools that I found using OpenArt. Now to access these AI VFX tools, we do need to log into OpenArt, who are the sponsor of this video, and there's a link below if you want to check it out. If I head down to video here and come down, we have 3 different options here. There's replace background, relight video, and video Inpaint. If I start at the top with replace background, we get taken here where we can actually make a start. Now, we can switch between the 3 up here, or if I head back out here, you'll notice that we have replace background, relight, and video Inpaint here as options. We're going to head back into replace background, and I have this video here of a couple dancing in their lounge room. And I think this is going to be a good test of some of these tools. So all I need to do is drag and drop it in under the choose a video to edit. And this could be real footage or an AI video you've generated. And this video is a little bit long, so I'm going to just bring in these handles here, bring the length down to about 5 seconds. So if you will get this option to trim this video automatically, I click confirm. So I come down here to background. There's actually a few existing presets. You can also go to your creations and find something there. But for now, I'm going to start off with a preset and we're going to sort of move from there to find something different. So I'm going to come down here to rainy cinematic street. Now it says here to describe your idea and it automatically fills that in for you if you're using one of these presets. And of course we can choose a different resolution like 720p or 1080p. So sticking with 1080p, I'm going to hit generate and you can see it has seamlessly changed that background. So I decided to try a few others to see how it looks. And it does seem to alter the color of the actual people to fit them into that background just a little bit. So you can see just how well this works just off these first few examples. Looking up close, you can see that it's handled the hair reasonably well. And probably my only complaint is that it's left a little bit of the couch in the center there, but that is just a minor issue, which is probably easy enough to remove with the Inpaint later on. But let's go back to one of my intro videos where you can see in the background that the background itself is actually moving. It doesn't just place a still image, it will often actually animate small areas of the background to make it a little bit more believable. And I also recently tried this clip, which I made in another video, and changed the background of that, going from a very muted and dull color palette through to this much brighter, more vibrant version. The background is moving and even the turtle has been recolored to match that background pretty effectively. What if we want a more custom background? Well, when I come up here to background, as I said before, I can upload an image. So it could be a photo or it could be something I've created. So we have uploads here, favorites, but I'm going to come down to this image here, which is kind of like a modern house in the 70s with a couple of cars out the front. Now I need to make sure that I actually describe my idea here. Place the background with a modern house and 2 cars in a 1970s style suburb. So that way it matches the image that we chose. Now again, we're going to come down. I'm going to try 720p this time. I'm going to hit generate, and then we're able to add in that custom background to this image. Now the camera doesn't move much here, so just remember if you move around, you do also get some movement in the background as well. So you can see how this is a really versatile tool, and you don't even need a blue or a green screen to make it work well. But what if we want to change things a little bit further? But now let's try the Relight video tool, because it's actually maintained and kept that same video that I uploaded earlier. So that means we can follow the same instructions of dragging and dropping in our video, but we can work with the same video quite easily. Now I'm going to come down here to lighting and we have the same process as before. I can choose one of my creations or go to presets. And since these 2 are dancing, I'm going to go to constant spotlight beams, come down, and this time, instead of it changing the background, it's only going to change the lighting itself. I'm going to change this to 720p, hit generate, and we go from this, which is our original scene and the original lighting, if you take note of that, to the concert spotlight beams, and we get a different color, different lighting. And what it actually does from video to video is it actually tracks where the light is coming from and renders it in a way that makes it more realistic as opposed to just simply changing the color grading. You might even notice that the shadows on this particular render are much harsher than the soft shadows of this render, showing how much it actually alters the shadows of the environment. And even switching to my turtle video, you introduce the new light and you can see just how much it's relit that scene and turned it into daytime. But I also threw this glass video, which I recorded on my phone, to it to see how well it handled the light within the glass reflections, and it's done a great job of reflecting the light pretty accurately. Even actually darkening the liquid itself because there's less light entering it. It really does a great job with the AI of really nailing down how this should look. But on top of that, we can actually stack these effects on top of each other. So I have this video here where we've changed the background to like an art gallery. If I drag that in, again, shorten it. I'm going to bring it down to about 3 seconds. I'm going to choose neon rim light and see how that applies with this new background. And then we can see we have the original background swapped video here. And then when we add neon rim light, it completely changes the atmosphere, relighting certain objects, darkening others, and really doing a great job of isolating certain things to get it to blend in properly. And again, check out the hair, blended perfectly. Now in my introduction, I changed the lighting like this, but I really just generated 2 different clips because it's not an option to change midway. I then brought them into my editor and just simply overlaid one and used a fade transition to make it work, showing you how you can actually put some of these effects into greater use with some very basic editing capabilities. But now we're going to move on to the fun stuff, which is video in Paint. And the idea is that, again, we can upload a video, we come down here and select the areas that we want to change. Now, there are a few different ways we can do this. For one, I can come up here where it says add area. I can type in something like the man on the left, hit enter, and it has selected the man itself. But I don't really want to run with that for now, so I'm going to come over here and just bin that area, because I can also hit this auto select, and what it does, it tries to basically select the main subject of the video. So that gives you a bit of an idea of how that works. But what I can also do is use this smart select. So if I want to say select part of this couch, I can click on that to select various areas of the couch, and I simply keep clicking and adding to that selection. And then of course, I still have the ability to grab a brush to paint in a bit more. And if I want to, I can even paint in some of the background itself. I'm just going to paint over the arm because maybe I want to add something here in the floor that's going to be quite interesting. And if I overdo it, I can grab my eraser and touch that up as well. So you get an idea of how that works. We can also undo and completely clear our entire selection. But on top of that, I can come up the top here and add another area. So now I have area 4. Maybe I decide I want to grab my brush and just select this roof area here. And I've essentially got 2 areas. Now, if I click preview, it'll show me those areas I've selected. I'm going to click confirm, and I can come back at any time to edit that selection. From here, I come down to target the look of the output. So I can come here, I can upload an image or create with AI. I'm going to click create with AI and type in what I want to see. A massive hole in the roof with a thunderstorm showing overhead whilst the floor is cracked open with the lava visible. And this is where it's really cool. We can use Nano Banana Pro or Nano Banana 2 to edit in what we want to see. So I'm going to click generate. You see, if we come up here, we can preview our image to see how it's going to look. So I'm going to close this down. I think that looks pretty good, and it has popped that image in there. So if you have an image you've already generated, you can just pop that in there as well. Then we have describe your idea. So I'm going to say a couple are dancing as a thunderstorm appears through a hole in the roof. Lava behind them is spitting and flowing through a crack in the floor. Now, before I actually go ahead with this, I've noticed that the couch is still visible, and I do want to remove it. So I'm going to leave all of this here. I'm going to come back to image. And with Nano Banana 2, I'm going to drag in the image we generated. And I'm going to just say, remove the couch in the center of the image. And I'm going to change it over to 16:9 so we get that same aspect ratio. I'm going to go 2K, generate 2 images. And now we have something that looks a little bit better over here. So now I'm going to switch back over to video, head back out and down to video in Paint. And it has kept those settings all there, including the image. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to bin this image and drag this one in. And I've also noticed that some of these cracks are forming the outside here. So I'm going to come up and edit this selection, go back to edit. And I'm just going to paint in some of the ground behind them just to be certain that we're covering all the areas that we want to cover. And so with this process, you may need to adjust your image, and then you may need to further adjust your mask depending on what the image gives you. Hit preview. Confirm. Coming down with all our settings, I'm going to hit generate. Now we have this result right here. Now there is a little bit of an issue in the corner there where that little bit of light's popping up. But here's the interesting part. Up top here we have result and then mask. If I click on mask, we can see where that mask is and where it kind of disappears a little bit in this corner. So what I'm going to do is come back down. I'm going to go into our mask here, edit the selection, and head back to edit. And I have actually missed a little bit of this wall and some of the floor. So I'm going to just make sure I really cover any areas I think will need to be changed. So I've taken a little bit more care to be a bit more complete with my mask. And I think that's an important step of using this tool is I'm actually also going to just work a little bit more up here. So I'm being a little bit generous with the mask. I'm going to hit preview, confirm, and I'm going to generate again to see if we're able to fix that issue. Now, as you can see, that is fixed our little glitch up. So just be aware you want to make sure that you highlight everything that you need to change within your video. But now I only have one other small complaint, which isn't actually a problem with this tool. It's the fact that the scene isn't lit very naturally. So coming back across, I'm going to come up and go to Relight Video, bin this video here and drag in the one we just generated, because I haven't actually gone through the steps to make sure this looks lit in a way that makes it look natural. So what I'm going to do is come down to lighting, and we have candlelit warmth. So I'm going to try that out to see if it makes the lighting a little bit better considering the scene that we're looking at. Hit generate, and that has lit the scene pretty organically. But we can take even more control by editing one of our images. Now, the other option is to go over here to image. I'm going to take this image we used before to remove the couch, since the couch is already removed. But this time I'm going to use Nano Banana 2 to say, relight the scene so that only the lava on the floor and the storm in the roof are the source of light. So that way we're trying to kind of remove the bright light from the room. I'm going to hit generate. And out of the two images, I really like the way this one here is lit. So I'm going to use that generation from Nano Banana 2. I'm going to go back into video, back out, and back into Relight Video. And instead of candlelit warmth, I'm going to click, go to my creations, and choose that Nano Banana image. And then I'm going to say, change the lighting so that the lava is the main source of light with some lighting coming from the storm above. And it has our visual reference now. So when I generate this time, we've been able to get a more controlled result with our lighting. So you can start to see how you can use these individually or tie them all together to build some pretty impressive results. And I found that it really excels at changing environments of your videos. If there's a little bit of camera movement and a lot of people, it does a great job of introducing elements around those characters or possibly even on them. This is really making VFX far more accessible for the average person. But you can also flip it and actually select people and objects instead of the background, swap them out for something different, and get some pretty good results there also. But there are some weaknesses. This is a clip I downloaded from Pexels, and I wanted to add some effects to the girl's face and also change the background into more of a cyberpunk city. And the shot looks pretty good. It's got the cybernetic elements across her face, but I asked for the cars to be flying past and they're kind of just suspended in midair, and I couldn't get this to work properly. So there are some limitations. Lucky you can open up the video and go to modify and use Dance 2 to effectively remove the existing cars and replace them with new ones that do fly past. And it works out pretty well, showing that if you can stack a lot of these tools together, you can really make a lot happen. But that wasn't the only hurdle I faced. I also had to edit to create this effect from the introduction, as what I originally generated was this here, and I changed the background, but the VFX shot was constant throughout the entire shot. So as before, I overlaid the two clips and then simply trimmed this one back until it was in alignment with the hand and used a little fade transition to get that to work. And then I added a fade very quickly at the end as the hand comes away. So once again, there are little workarounds to get this to work for you. And I do think that the effects are more of a constant thing than they are something that can appear and disappear within the generation. But at the end of the day, what it does do is pretty fantastic. And it means that if you have a few workarounds, you can also extend that a bit further as this technology improves. This is still a massive time saver for not only adding effects, but adding and removing objects from your videos. But another thing to consider is that you have only up to 240 frames within your videos. So one way you can work around this too is if you have a video that is 60 frames a second, but you're only intending on putting it into a 30 frame per second short film or video, you can knock that frame rate down to 30 or so and actually get a bit more out of it. And of course, you can also simply render a 15 frame per second video and then go in to the upscale video option and increase the frame interpolation. And you can actually get the AI to add frames in between. And that's another way you can squeeze a little bit more out of this tool. So if you're making a short film or you just want to have a bit of fun with these AI tools, check out the link below and go check out OpenArt AI. These are really, really fun to play with. So I highly recommend having a look and seeing what you can come up with. But otherwise, that's the video for today, guys. I hope you found it useful. And if you did, please consider giving the video a like. Otherwise, hope to see you again soon. Have a great day and thanks for watching.